So we're now into the new year. Have you gotten used to saying 2007 yet? Are you writing 2006 still on your checks? I know it takes me a few weeks to get that sorted out. Where are you with your New Year's resolutions? Have you given up, or are you still working on your goals? For the past several weeks, we've been talking about the 5 plateaus of progress, or the 5 steps to actually making your goals stick. In this final segment, we'll talk about commitment. So joining us again is Jerry Madigan. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Helena.
Okay, so the last week we did the board breaking exercise. I'm telling you, that was amazing. It's really great to be able to actually mentally get through some of the obstacles, but you're not quite there yet. What is this whole issue of commitment as it applies to goal setting?
Well, I think this is the final plateau. This is really where you've arrived at the level. I call it level 5 leadership. There's a book on the market by Jim Collins called Good to Great. What's the difference between a good company and a great company? What's the difference between a good life and a great life, a good relationship and a great relationship? And it really means bringing you to this level, the level 5, which is commitment. And it's the most elusive and yet it's the most desirable leadership quality that in the world today. Every company wants people that have commitment. Every relationship, they want people with commitment. It's not easy to get there, but if you go through the steps, awareness, vision, discipline, change, then you reach this level of commitment. And that means getting the job done no matter what. Nothing is going to stop you. You're so committed to getting the job done and accomplishing the task or accomplishing the goal that you do it. And you develop this sort of frame of mind, this mindset that no matter what you set yourself in life to do, you're going to do it. It establishes your values, very clearly establishes your values. It helps you set your priorities. It will test every single skill that you've got. Because I mean, it not only your task skills, but your people skills, it'll test every skill. It makes everything that you're doing worthwhile once you get to this level of commitment.
But you see, I think people have a bit of a misunderstanding here, and I think that I always thought this way too, but now that I've sort of been going over these steps with you, you think that when you make these New Year's resolutions that, oh, I'm committed, that's it, I'm committed, but that's not really commitment, is it?
No, and that's the, it's nice to have that thought.
Yeah.
And you feel committed.
Yes.
But it's more than that. At the very beginning, you say, yes, I'm committed. This is what I want to change. But as I said before, you're willing to jump from vision to change without going through this huge plateau of discipline. So you're not creating an infrastructure. So what you're doing is building through these plateaus is you're developing more and more personal, strong habits that are going to make you more effective as a human being. It'll make your relationships more effective. It'll make your work more effective. It'll make everything that you do more effective because you're striving. It's a pursuit of excellence, and success is never final. You're constantly perfecting. You're constantly moving forward. But reaching this level of commitment, by taking these 4 steps, the 5th step is to get to this level of commitment. And when you're there, everything that you undertake to do, you undertake from a different perspective, that you're going to succeed. So you're developing this success mentality that
right.
you don't even think about failure. You're going to succeed in all of these things.
Now, you talked about sort of the 5th level of leadership, and you talked about this commitment in every dimension of yourself. But leadership, I like what you say here, is about becoming. It's becoming the person you ought to be and want to be, and that's where that commitment comes in, right?
Yes, remember at the very first interview that we did, we talked about the people living their lives like a Christmas present, that they don't open the wrapping and they don't actually open the box. This is identifying the potential that you have, and then it's actualizing that potential. And you're actualizing the potential by taking action to do the things that you're capable of doing, and you increase your capacity. You don't just, in running, if you're going to run a marathon, you don't just set off today, well, today I'm going to decide I'm going to run a marathon next week. You can do it, but you'll probably die at the end of it. But if you go through these steps and you build yourself up, you achieve beyond your natural ability, and your capacity to achieve increases. But they're all steps. One of the big things about setting and achieving goals is to break them down into bite-sized chunks. The other thing is to get a buddy system. If you don't share your goals, if you don't have somebody to report to, accountability is a huge factor. It's one of the big leadership qualities that we're looking for, is the accountability and responsibility. But if you've got somebody to account to report to on a regular basis, a buddy in getting your goals, to helping to achieve your goals, it's amazing the difference it makes in your success.
So really leadership, what you're saying, that 5th level of leadership is about becoming the person you ought to be and want to be. And a big part of that is the commitment on a daily, repetitive basis, not just in thought, but in doing, of achieving that goal.
Absolutely. I think the old adage, consistency is the mother of success. rings true here, because if we're not consistent in what we're doing, and the other thing I suppose is if our actions are not consistent with what we're saying, these inconsistencies don't allow us to move to that level 5 of commitment. And we don't become the person we're capable of becoming. And it's why many people feel that they're under-actualized, they're never actualizing the potential that they have, whether it's in their work or relationships or whatever. And they need to go through these steps, through this process, so that they, first of all, identify the potential that they have, and then they start to actualize it. And then they move eventually to this level of commitment, so that when they say, yeah, I'm committed to doing this, they really know what they mean, and they know what's involved in doing this, that it is a major commitment. The commitment is a huge word, it's a big word.
It really is a big word, and it's commitment no matter what you feel, whether it's a fair weather day or whether it's not a fair weather day. That's the difference. That's the hard part, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's irrelevant. I mean, the environment has nothing to do with it, or how you feel has nothing to do with it. If you give a commitment, you're going all the way. You're going to deliver on this.
Well, thank you so much, Jerry.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
So we've been talking with Jerry Madigan about the 5 Plateaus of Progress. For free tips, you can contact him at 225-3880 or online at www.madiganmanagement.com.